15 years following the implementation of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP, government figures claim that 5.8 million hectares have been distributed to 2.7 million agrarian reform beneficiaries, or an accomplishment rate of 72%. On the surface, the figures may seem remarkable, but on closer look, such numbers actually amount to a terrible performance, especially since the program should have been completed 5 years ago. Surely statistics never tell the complete story, but we cannot ignore the numbers. If indeed the accomplishment rate is 72%, how come agrarian reform advocates and potential beneficiaries readily write off CARP as a failure? Perhaps Rice Reyes, Executive Director of Partnership of Agrarian Reform and Rural Development Services, Incorporated, was right when he said, "You may see the 72%, but you certainly do not feel it." CARP is the compromise result of congressional haggling between lawmakers and landowners, the advocates of reform. The legislation passed, though riddled with loopholes, making it a dubious vehicle for genuine reform. 4 presidents, a coterie of agrarian reform secretaries, and 1 missed completion deadline later, not counting the 2004 deadline, which will also be missed. CARP remains more than ever an orphan program, lacking state support, adequate resources, and plain good faith. CARP's performance has varied with the administration. Under President Corazon Aquino, the promise was shortly undercut by shady deals, dubious accomplishment reports, and most especially by the exemption of the Aquino family. Hacienda Lucita from distribution, in a word, was an accomplice in CARP's emasculation. The piece of CARP appeared to pick up during the presidency of Fidel Ramos. Some observers noted that the DAR Secretary Ernesto Garillo proved a capable helmsman, managing to distribute 57% of the total hectares, of 4.6% of the target. But while these numbers compromise mostly non-continuous lands, Garillo's defenders insisted that under his watch, CARP's viability was demonstrated, setting a standard for collaboration among government agencies, non-government organizations, and peasants organizations in expediting CARP implementation. The administration of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo has not demonstrated its commitment to agrarian reform, despite claims that her administration considers land reform top priority. Arroyo has shown otherwise. Under her administration, DAR performance have been dismissal and not too far from coming to a virtual standstill. DAR Secretary Hernani Braganta failed to inspire confidence, contrary to Arroyo's claim that her land distribution rate is the biggest in CARP's history. Her administration targets for a distribution are the lowest in the program's history. CARP today finds itself in inhospitable political claims. Land and reform having lost its legitimate place in the national agenda. The urgency of agrarian reform has issued from the threat of peasant insurgency, and now the Hope Rebellion of 1950 is a distant memory, and the New People's Army, despite periodic claims of resurgence issued by the military, is not perceived as an immediate threat.